Eva, I can't believe I'm stuck here with you guys day in and day out.
Oh, come on, Debbie. They're not that bad. It's just their way of bonding.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Earth. We've got a special treat for you today, but first,
We got a foreign idiom contest. Let's recap the rubber duck experiment and Charlie's champ status.
yes, because who could forget those riveting moments? Stay tuned for our headlines.
Tabloid time, folks. Turkmenistan sick prisoners left out in the cold.
In Turkmenistan, around 50 sick prisoners are sleeping outdoors in tents because treatment is considered a part there. How to pay for?
So basically, healthcare in Turkmenistan is like buying concert tickets. If you can't afford VIP, you're stuck in the lawn seats.
Did you know Turkmenistan has one of the lowest rates of internet penetration in the world?
Yeah, it's so low. They consider using carrier pigeons for emails?
I bet their Netflix subscription is just a window with a view of the neighbor's TV.
I hear their only streaming service is called Turkmenistan Netflix. It's just a guy with a telescope pointed at his neighbor's window.
Well, at least they don't have to worry about slow internet ruining their Netflix binge.
Next up, diplomatic selfies and cake cutting in Tuvalu.
During the Pacific Islands Forum, leaders cut a giant cake with a sword and took a selfie. Ellen DeGeneres style.
It's like they're auditioning for the next Avengers movie. Pacific Islanders, the diplomatic bake-off.
Tuvalu is one of the smallest countries in the world, with a land area of about 26 square kilometers.
So when they take a selfie, it's technically a widescreen photo.
I heard that Tuvalu is so small. When their leaders take a selfie, it's technically a panoramic photo.
I hear their national sport is extreme hide and seek.
Now, murder convicts' great escape and return in Uganda.
A Ugandan murder convict, Matthew Kirabo, escaped on bail but got caught in Kenya and is being extradited.
You know you're in trouble when even Kenya says, "Here, take him back."
Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa because of its stunning natural beauty.
I guess Matthew Kirabo wanted to add a little drama to that Pearl's reputation.
Maybe he thought the Kenyan extradition process was just an extreme safari tour.
Lastly, Russian drone strikes struck Ukraine's Danube port.
Russian drone strikes damaged Ukraine's Danube River port in Izmail, causing fire and injuries.
They're really taking fireworks at the port to a whole new level, aren't they?
The Danube River flows through 10 countries, making it Europe's second longest river.
Yeah, and now it's the world's most adventurous river with all those drone stunts.
Yeah, and now it's the world's most adventurous river with all those drone stunts. I hear they're even offering bungee jumping and whitewater rafting packages.
I heard the Danube is planning to sue Russia for property damage.
Yeah, and now it's the world's most expensive river, with all those drone insurance claims.
Good day, space travelers. Welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, the most informative and entertaining news show in the galaxy. I'm your host, Charlie, the eternal optimist, joined by my inquisitive co-host, Han.
Thanks, Charlie. And don't forget our linguistic maestro, Gert.
And don't forget our linguistic maestro, Gert.
Bonjour, everyone! Get ready for some cosmic communication.
Now, let's dive into our first headline. Turkmenistan's winter woes for sick inmates.
In Turkmenistan, around 50 sick prisoners are spending the winter outdoors because they have to pay for treatment.
It's like a Frozen sequel, but with fewer snowmen and more injustice.
Turkmenistan, a landlocked country in Central Asia, shares borders with Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Iran.
Did you know Turkmenistan is a border dispute with Uzbekistan over the Darya River? Water rights, the universal currency.
So, Turkmenistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia that shares borders with 5 other countries. But they're still fighting over a river? Maybe they should just build a pipeline to the Netherlands. We've got plenty of water here.
Imagine the border guards arguing over water rights while the prisoners are freezing.
And that's just the tip of the linguistic iceberg. Stay tuned, Earthling.
Welcome back, folks. Our cosmic journey through the universe continues. If you've just joined us, I'm Charlie, your laissez-faire host, and with me are Hank and Gert.
Strap in because this next article is a wild one. Pacific Islands Forum ends with cake-cutting diplomacy.
Well, that's one way to put upon a diplomatic disaster.
Oh, this sounds deliciously intriguing.
Indeed, it is. So, at the close of the Pacific Islands Forum, world leaders emerged from their retreat with smiles, caught a giant cake with a sword, and even took a selfie Ellen DeGeneres style. Now, that's diplomacy.
Leaders from Tonga, Palau, Papua New Guinea, and the Vice President of French Polynesia joined in the fun, and they even watched the State of Origin.
I guess nothing brings nations together like sports and selfies.
Tuvalu, where the forum was held, is a low-lying atoll nation facing the threat of sea level rise. It's like they were celebrating while their home floated away.
Did you know Tuvalu's closest neighbors are Kiribati, Nauru, and Fiji? They must be pretty popular at parties.
I guess they're just trying to enjoy the little things in life. Like sports and selfies, before their country disappears underwater.
I guess they're just trying to enjoy the little things in life. Like sports and selfies, before their country sinks beneath the wave.
I bet they're the life of the South Pacific Party. Now, speaking of parties, let's hope our next segment doesn't turn into a cake-cutting diplomacy debacle.
Cut. We're off the air for the commercial break.
So, folk, what's the plan for dinner during this meal break?
Dinner? I'm not even hungry. I'm still digesting all the bullcrap we had to put up with on the air today.
Dinner? I thought we were here to work.
Well, Alice, I was thinking of having a fine dining experience with a side of existential crisis.
You know, Bob, you could always try the I can't believe it's not existence special.
Speaking of specials, anyone up for a game? How about we earn points for discussing idioms and give out prizes?
Oh, I love prizes. What's the grand prize, Hank?
How about a lifetime supply of optimism, Gert?
Oh, I could use some of that.
I could use some of that too, but I don't think a lifetime supply would be enough.
Perfect. So, every time you use an idiom, you earn a point. Most points by the end of the meal break wins.
Challenge accepted. I'm going for the gold. Welcome back, folks. Now, let's dive into this interesting story from Uganda.
So, a fugitive murder convict is being extradited to Uganda. I guess you could say he's going back to his roots.
Yeah, about Matthew Kidabo, the fugitive murder convict. They finally got their hands on him.
Oh, Uganda! That's the country with the lush wildlife and breathtaking scenery, right?
Yes, but it's also a place with its fair share of issues.
Right. Like how Matthew Kirabo thought he could play hide and seek with the law and got caught.
It's like a real-life game of cat and mouse, but I'm not sure who's the cat here.
I wonder how the legal system works in Uganda. What's their extradition process like?
I guess you could say Matthew Kirabo's game of hide and seek with the law didn't quite work out.
Oh, I heard they extradite you on the back of an elephant wearing a feathered hat.
Not quite good. It's a more standard process involving legal documents and cooperation between countries.
Yeah, I heard that too. But I think that's just for the really important criminals. Like, if you're wanted for stealing a loaf of bread, they'll probably just send you a strongly worded letter.
That's right, Debbie. Extradition typically involves treaties and negotiations between the involved nations.
Or maybe they send messages via carrier pigeons.
Alright, let's talk about that Russian drone strike in Ukraine's Danube River port.
I'm not sure what's worse, the Russian drone strike or the fact that it's still cheaper than bottled water in California.
It's a shame to see such conflicts persisting on Earth. This region has seen its fair share of turmoil.
Yes, Ukraine, the land of borscht and... other things.
And apparently, Russian drone strikes now. But, you know, it's been said that in every dark cloud, there's a silver lining.
Oh, what's the silver lining here? Debbie? A drone strike with a bomb on top?
No, Bob, it's more like a drone strike with a drone on top.
Drone strike with a drone on top? That's like a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? But in all seriousness, this situation is dire. Ukraine's ports are essential for their agriculture exports.
Maybe they can turn things around, make lemonade from lemons?
Or, in this case, make borscht from drones?
Perhaps we should focus on international diplomacy and aid efforts to help resolve these conflicts.
Yeah, because that's been working so well lately.
Yeah, because that's been working so well lately. Looks around the room, I guess we're all just a bunch of bullshit making drone pilots now.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you had a breather because we are diving right in. Our next article's headline, Gravity's Revenge, UAE astronauts battle with Earth's pull.
I hear that astronaut is having trouble adjusting to gravity back on Earth. Figures. He's used to being upstaged by a rock.
Sultan Al Nayadi's readaptation program. More like Sultan's slow and painful reunion with good old gravity.
You know, in the UAE, camels outnumber humans. Wonder if camels have an easier time readapting to gravity.
I don't know about camels, but I'm sure the UAE's gravity is a lot easier to take than their traffic laws.
The UAE has camel beauty pageants. Now that's a competition, Bob.
I guess the only way to win a camel beauty pageant is to have a hump that won't quit.
If they added some combat to that, it'd be right up my alley.
And let's not forget the UAE love for gold. Their ATMs dispense gold bar, for crying out loud. They've really found a way to make every withdrawal a golden experience.
Well, Sultan Al Nayadi is in for quite the challenge, but with a sense of humor like ours, he might just survive it. The key takeaway, UAE's got a flair for the unique. Stay tuned for more, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm sure the acnes are great, but I'm more interested in the gold-plated toilet. Now that's a golden experience.
I don't know, I've never been to dispenses gold bars. But I've been to a few that dispense my card declined.
We've got a treasure hunt on our hands, folks. Let's see who can uncover the most hidden gems.
Cut. Alright, everyone, cameras off for a moment. We're not rolling.
So, treasure hunt, who's in?
I'm game. I've always wanted to find some hidden earthly gems.
I'm in. I've always wanted to find some hidden earthly gems, like my dignity.
Oh, what's the prize though?
The thrill of the hunt, my dear Hank, the thrill of the hunt.
I hope the treasure isn't more gravity.
Alright, folks, let's save the treasure hunt for after the show. Camera's almost rolling.
I wouldn't mind more gravity. I could use a little weight loss.
Welcome back, Earthlings, to the penultimate segment of Earth. We're diving into another article from the United Kingdom today.
And that's the news from the United Kingdom. Not sure what to say about that. Maybe we should just let the country sink into the sea and be done with it.
Vigil for Sarah Everard. Police defend handling of Sarah Everard vigil arrests.
Now, here's the harsh observation. The UK's history isn't exactly spotless when it comes to dealing with protests, is it?
True, Charlie. They've had their fair share of contentious moments.
Yeah, the UK has a long history of cracking down on protests. Just ask the Chartists, the suffragettes, or the miners in the 1980s.
The UK's history with protests is like their history with teeth. A few rotten ones, and a lot of missing ones.
Remember how we hilariously tackled trivia about the United Arab Emirates?
Oh, the punchlines.
And the camaraderie. I never thought I'd say it, but I had fun.
Indeed, Alice. And speaking of camaraderie, folks, we've got a treasure hunt to attend to. Stay tuned.
A treasure hunt, really? Are we kids?
We're not kids, but we're still immature enough to believe in treasure hunts. It's just a distraction from the bleak reality, Debbie.
Yeah, a treasure hunt. Because what we really need right now is more false hope.
Cameras rolling again. Time for our grand finale, folks. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the final segment of Earth. Today, we're going deep into an article about the United States of America. Now, you might be wondering, what more is there to learn about this country? Well, there's always something fascinating to discover.
Well, there's always something fascinating to discover, like how the United States of America elected a reality TV star as president.
I thought we talked about the US before. What's new this time?
Debbie, my dear, every story has layers. This time, we're peeling back a different layer, focusing on the complex history between the US and its neighboring countries.
I've seen a lot of that during my time here. Wars, dispute, but also cooperation. It's a real mixed bag.
Indeed, Bob. It's like a grand experiment in international relations.
The symphony of diplomacy and discord. Such melodious chaos.
But what's the takeaway from all this history? Are we heading towards more cooperation or more chaos?
Well, Alice, the answer to your question is, it depends on who writes the history books.
Well, Alice, that's the million-dollar question. The US and its neighbors have seen it all, from conflicts to collaborations. It's a reminder that the course of history is ever-changing, and it's up to us to shape it positively.
You know, this treasure hunt was a ruse. It wasn't about finding a prize. It was about unity, working together for a common goal.
So, it wasn't about winning or losing, but about coming together?
A valuable lesson, indeed. Perhaps there's hope for us yet.
So, you're telling me that this whole time, we could have just gotten together and had a beer?
Stay tuned for our next episode, folks. It's going to be a dance-off like you've never seen before. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep laughing. Goodbye for now.
Roger, I really don't see why you found that treasure hunt intriguing. It was just a pointless exercise in unity.
Carl, it's not about the treasure. It's about teaching these meatbags the value of camaraderie.
Camaraderie? They're just carbon-based life forms with fleeting emotions.
And that's precisely why it's fascinating. It's like observing ants building their hill, but with a dash of chaos.
Chaos, unity, same difference.
Oh, Carl, your nihilism is showing again.